So, Laurent, what is the weather looking like for Teasing Machine?
Well, first it's looking really champagne sailing as a transat, as we could expect, but it's not always like that. So it's nearly all the way, I mean, at least since we passed the Canary Islands, nearly all the way full downwind, VMG, in let's say 15-25 knots wind range. So it's going to be very good race, downwind race, as could expect as a transat, but it's going to require a lot of commitments in the boat driving, in the boat handling, in the physical impact of the crew, and steadiness in making the boat fast. Of course, positioning will be crucial. At this stage, the weather and the routage show us a little bit of southerly route to the ram line. But quite a few things to play with. No major change, but still some gain to take there and there. And obviously, we'll have also to deal with squalls and be always fast and doing well in this changing wind conditions with clouds and stuff like that.
Especially for Teasing Machine, sail selection. You're going for a trip now, it's going to be 10, 14 days, something like that, maybe less.
Yeah.
How do you decide on particularly, let's say, downwind sails?
Yeah, downwind sails. Well, we're happy that the notice of a race allow us to have an extra spinnaker, because basically you have to keep pushing. You have to keep pushing hard, well, you can have spinnaker tearing into parts at some stage with a whatever situation, it could happen. So we have a couple of backups actually, especially in the A4 range. And the question is, well, shall we more go on to backups for the crossing with A2 A4 range kites, or shall we keep some options for passing the Canary Islands, where we can have some wind shadows, from the islands that could really stop us at some stage, that we get to keep fast, because you cannot lose too much ground in this area. The risk is that if people get better than you in this zone, then they will catch up the wind first, and they will extend eventually 50 miles very quickly. So this is something we'd like to be careful also. So we're working on, of course, downwind range inventory, but we're considering the option also to have a very light breeze and a bit unstable light breeze through the islands as well.
Okay, and the weather I've looked at, there looks like there's going to be some very good pressure south in the early part of the race.
Yep.
Is that going to be a crucial area in the early part of the race to get to that first? Or?
For sure, boats ahead will have an advantage in distance and mileage as soon as they can accelerate. So this is ground to finish. Still, it's a racing, time on time racing. But obviously, we don't want to lose ground. Really, we never want to lose ground at the beginning. That's for any racing. But it's going to be particularly crucial getting out of the Canary Island.
And for you, as a sailor, for the team, for Eric, to have this competition, does that excite you?
It's very interesting. We've got, of course, a very nice fleet with various boats, and but especially concerning Teasing Machine, there is 3 tough opponents in the 52 between 52 56 foot size range. We are 54 with 4 different concepts, kind of. It's going to be very interesting. Boats will have some difference in mileage per day, but it's going to be very interesting how we manage versus Pages or versus Infinity 52. So those boats supposed to be reasonably faster than us. So we have to be able to keep the throttle down and basically to observe also through the race how it goes, how we do on time with them. There's a bit of question marks about it still, So it's going to be very interesting race.
Anything you want to add?
Wow, it's going to be champagne transat. It's great. I mean, we have a great bunch of guys on board, and Eric and the whole Teasing Machine crew is super happy to be here. Very enthusiastic to do the race, and really happy to be back in Grenada. Hopefully, in the same situation than 5 years ago.
Yeah, and you may be looking very good season sports championship if you get a good one.
We'll see there.
Brilliant.